So we Vikings fans know that the national media jabroni haircuts love hating on the Minnesota Fighting Vikings and every player associated with them, notably quarterback Kirk JEROME Cousins. Blah, 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 he's overpaid. Blah, 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 you'll never win. Blah, 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 all that stuff. Even though seems to me that Dak Prescott and Tannehill and Derek Carr get a pass, even though they are clearly the type of players that the media wants you to think that Kirk Cousins is, but it is what it is. And looking at the NFC North, we just have a video ranking the NFC North quarterbacks for us. Kirk Cousins is clearly the guy over Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, over the crooked Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, and also Jordan Love, who, I don't know, man. But the lengths and the depths that the national media just completely put their thumb down on the scale and hate on the Vikings knows no bounds. So ESPN's Get Up. Green wasn't on there today. Courtney Cronin, former Vikings beat writer for ESPN, currently Bears beat writer. We'll get into that. But her, Sam Acho, the legend, Harry Douglas, as well as Brian Custer were on there. And simple question. Which NFC North quarterback are you taking to win one game? So we're taking age out of this. We're taking future progression out of this. We're even taking one season out of this. One game. Un gameo. Who are you taking under center of the four NFC North starting quarterbacks? And I mean, it got a little interesting. So Sam Acho and Harry Douglas, they both said Justin Fields, noting his mobility. They're like, oh, that's really hard to prepare for and all that stuff. Courtney Cronin went with Jared Goff, which I'm sure will play well in Chicago. But citing Super Bowl experience, even though, I mean, that was more Sean McVay, and also who led the defense that shut down Jared Goff's ass in that Super Bowl, only allowing 3 points. Woo, Brian Flores. That's right, man. That's right. But and then they're bringing home Brian Custer picked Jared Goff as well. So blah 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 blah. All this talk about Jared Goff was so good down the stretch, even after a 1-6 start. Justin Fields ran for 1,000 yards, broke a bunch of records for rushing a rushing quarterback. All that stuff, but we need to go back. Okay, so a little bit of this is projection. Everyone wants to be on the brand new thing, but look at the Lions' record last year. So, yeah, the Lions finished 9-8, respect, and they had a torrid finish, which is perfectly fine. But let's not forget they started out 1-6. And let's also not forget that they were 3-13-1 in 2021. So they were beep, bop, up, boop, 4-19-1 in the first 24 games of Dan Campbell's tenure. But everyone is all up on the Lions' ass because of the way that they finished the season, even though it was a little bit of a cakewalk down the end. I don't know. They did beat the Vikings the second time. They should be the Vikings the first time, but it is what it is. And then you look at the Bears record for 2022. They're like, but Justin Fields' mobility makes it really difficult. So by my estimation, Justin Fields had his mobility every single game last year, but it didn't necessarily matter, right? So the Bears beat the Niners week 1, respect, and then they beat the Texans week 3, and then they proceeded to lose 13 of their last 14 games. Congratulations. And some of them, they just got woodshed, man. And they did drop their final 10 games in a row. But, hey, him for one game because no one's ever stopped a rushing quarterback. Well, no Vikings defense has ever stopped a rushing quarterback. So I guess it depends on who you play. But, again, all this hype, all the hype about Justin Fields, it's projection. All the hype about Jared Goff, it's projection. The way that the Lions finished last season with Ben Johnson as OC, who does return. But no one even brought up what Kirk did last year. Which, again, I'm not necessarily a Kirk apologist. When Kirk was bad early on in his Vikings tenure, we called a spade. But, I mean, no matter how you slice it, Kirk had one of the best seasons of his career, if not the best. He threw for 4,821 yards passing, a 79.3 PFF grade, 31 touchdowns, eight interceptions, and also he did all that while being pressured the most in his career, and also second most in the league, and plus had a career high in sacks with 46. So his offensive line was faltering. Dalvin had a career low yards per carry. He had the 31st ranked defense across from him, and he still dragged this team's ass to 13 wins and also won the division for the first time in his career. Plus, tied the NFL record for most fourth quarter game-winning drives come from behind, all that stuff. So they don't even mention how absolutely clutch and nails Kirk Cousins was. And you could be like, but what about the wild card game? Again, Kirk did not lose a wild card game. I don't care what happened on 4th and 8. It was a horrible play call. Plus, they shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. But I mean, the Vikings defense giving up 431 yards and 31 points to Daniel frickin' Jones. But Kirk Cousins, completing over 75% of his passes for 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, 85 quarterback QBR, and a 112.9 quarterback rating. And also, he ran in a touchdown. You would think that would be enough to win. So I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's just so asinine and obvious at this point, and it is pretty ridiculous. Again, I mean, they're buying into Kirko chains. I'm sure they'll love Kirk from the documentary, but again, this is borderlining on malpractice and malfeasance. This is just complete propaganda at this point, just trying to hype up the Lions' ass, because I feel like, I mean, the Detroit Lions don't even exist. I mean, they are a media creation. And also, everyone's just trying to push Justin Fields as the next quarterback. Because they're like, well, Jalen Hurts made the jump in year 3. Okay. We'll see, man. We'll see. But it just seems so dishonest. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll just roll with Kirk for this year, and we'll see what happens. Year 2 with Kevin O'Connell. Jefferson will break records. Addison will get his. TJ will be the best tight end in the league. Kirk will be protected. He'll be a dark horse MVP candidate. The Vikings will win the division again going away. Rack up and stack up 13, 14 wins. Make some noise in the playoffs. Hoist that Drobardi un time-o. And then we'll be back. We'll be back next year, too, and then the National Media Drobardi Haircuts will ask, which NFC North quarterback would you trust to win one game? And it'll still be the same answers. Still be the same answers. Or maybe it'll be Caleb Williams with the Packers, because they're going this year with Jordan Love. I believe it, man. But your thoughts are our thoughts. ESPN is at it again, hating on Kirk Cousins for no reason. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.